there, Martin here. Thank you for joining me for this week's turning project video. I hope you're all well and have had a super creative week or weekend in your workshops. Big thanks for all of the comments over the last few days on Dot Matrix and also Turner's Journey episode 25. It's really lovely to receive so many positive comments about the work and stuff that I do and the content that I create for you. This week I mentioned that I'd seen a ring box on a friend of mine's Instagram, Jeff Hornung at the Walnut Log Studio in Missouri, USA. I saw his ring box back in December, I think it was, and I really loved it. And it was a gents ring box, nicely decorated on the top with some spiralling and some gilting and stuff. And I thought I really fancy having a go at doing a ring box myself. And I thought, we're just coming into February, so how about a ladies' ring box that would be a wonderful gift for Valentine's Day, because it's only a couple of weeks away. Wonderful gift for Valentine's Day, on which you may be able to put a ring if you feel so inclined to buy the love of your life a ring for Valentine's Day. Maybe some of you are single, maybe some of you want to be proposing on Valentine's Day, then this project could be just the thing to put the ring in. Now, the project is the second effort. This is the first effort, it didn't work, and I'm warbling on, so I'll just go straight into the main one. After messing up the first one, I drew out exactly what I wanted to do with all of the measurements and everything else like that. And then came out to the workshop today and made this, which doesn't look like the design that I'd done. It's still English box, and inside there is a U insert. Either side of the join has been painted with metallic enamel paint, and it's kind of egg-shaped, but rather elegant nonetheless. And then on the inside is one of my girlfriend's rings, and also a U insert that fits into the bottom of the box with another little sort of hidden box beneath, like so. There, a very sweet little project, and I think a really ideal project for giving away on Valentine's Day. So without further ado, let's take a look at how I made the egg-shaped ladies ring box. Seeing as the initial box that I'd done didn't turn out entirely according to plan, I went back to the computer and put together a line drawing with all the dimensions of exactly what I want to achieve. And that should help me turning down this other piece, the other end of the English boxwood that I had from the start. So first off, I need to round it down and put the tenons on each end of the piece so I can get it into the chuck. So with full face shield on and a square end tool, I'm going to turn this back round. It's not far off, but I just need to get it down and round. There's a knot in the piece here, which you can see. It's quite big, and it's going to be a really nice feature of the box. So I think I might put that bit at the on the lid of the box. But it's tearing out a little bit, so I'm going to dribble some thin CA into it, just to give it some support and to let it soak in, to hold it all together really. The CA glue has gone off now, and I've just got the calipers on there, and I can see that I'm just a shave over 60mm, which is okay, but it's going to be less than 60mm after I've sanded the piece down. But I'm not going to worry too much about that, because I've got a little bit of tolerance with the measurements that I have on the line drawing. Next job to do is to mark off where I want to put the tenons for the chuck, one on each end, and they need to be 14mm deep. So there's one there, one there, and then right. So using the square end tool again, I'm going to put the dovetails on. Now let's get the piece in the chuck. Now this piece is a little bit smaller than the original piece I had to play with, so I need to carefully mark out where everything is going to go, and I don't have a vast amount of space, so I need to leave a little mark for where I want to part the piece off, which will be there, and then from that mark up, looking at my diagram, I need to part it off 40mm up, which is, where is it? There. Which leaves me just roughly 40mm to play with to make the lid of the box, which is okay because the actual lid of the box is only going to be 30mm high, so I do actually have a little bit more room than I originally thought. So let's get marking off. And now I can take the tailstock away so I can part off the lid of the box. Looking at the diagram that I put together of the piece, I can see that I've parted it off and I need to have a mark 3mm inside and 5mm down the outside of the piece, which will create the lip. Let's get the ruler. I'm going to do it 3.5mm. So 3.5mm that way, and then 5mm down, which is there. So 5mm down, and so this is going to form the lip of the box where the lid is going to sit over the top. Check the measurements, so that should be, that's good, and that's good too. Perfect. Right, the next mark I need to make is 2mm in from this line. Where's my millimeters? Two millimeters in from there, which is there, and then 2mm in again, which is there. Now the first line I made here is for the top of the wall where the inlay is going to sit, and that is going to be the depth. And this line here is going to be the width of the lip upon which the inset, there's the one from the original, where this is going to sit. So this line here is the top of the wall there. This line here is the interior of the lip. So what I need to do now is I can hollow out this whole centerpiece here and leave this mark here so I can take it down in a moment. Got the box hollowed out, it's now ready for finishing, but before that I need to put the interior lip, this lip here, onto the piece, which needs to go down about 3mm, that's all, 3-4 mil, something like that. That's nice, I'm happy with that. And now it's time to finish the inside down to 600 grit, and then I'll decide what finish I'll put on it. Now that's the inside of the piece done, and as usual I'm going to give it a little clean off with some denatured alcohol. Well, it's known in the UK as methylated spirits, but in the US it's denatured alcohol. So that's giving it a nice clean, and then I'm going to take some cellulose sanding sealer and thinners mix and apply that to the piece as well. Try and get it into the corners as much as you can. This English boxwood is just stunning. Beautiful, it cuts really beautifully. It's like butter almost. It doesn't cut particularly easily because it's so hard, especially this stuff. It's been dry for something like 30 years. But it does cut wonderfully, and it takes an amazing finish. So I'm going to get some of the Hampshire Sheen High Gloss, which I'm still experimenting with. Put that on the inside of the piece. And there we go. That's the inside of the box done. Now I can change it over for the lid of the box, so I can work out exactly how I can put the lid on the box. I've started hollowing out the box. I've made a mark on the bottom of the thickness of the wall here, so hopefully in a minute it will fit. And now I've made it too big. It's only 1/2 mil too big, which is a bit of a bummer, but at least it fits. So next I can make a mark on the inside to create a shoulder. that's there, and then I can hollow out the top of the box. That'll do for that. Now I can finish the inside of the lid. I'm a bit gutted that it's a bit too big, but it might change size. What I noticed with the original box was the insert had quite a loose fit out here in the workshop, but when I got it inside, the fit actually became quite tight. Because the box lid doesn't have a particularly tight fit, I'm going to take some kitchen towel, give it a little soaking in some water, strain it out a little bit, and I've folded it in half, and then I'm going to push the box lid on, and that should hopefully expand the grain, let the grain swell in the wood a little bit to keep it on, and then pull the tailstock up to give it some support, tear off as much of the poking out kitchen towel as I can, like so, and then I can turn the box round again and make sure I've got as nice a joint as possible. And then hopefully the box lid won't come flying off when I come to finish the lid. I've had a bit of a design change, I think. I want to have the bottom, which is down here on the left, narrower than the middle, and then have kind of an egg-shaped dome on the top, and hopefully that will mean I can keep a nub of support on the lid for as long as I possibly can. I'm going to use my spindle gouge now, which I've recently sharpened. I've finished shaping the box and I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to turn out to be really nice. And I've checked the depth that I haven't gone too close to the edge of the wall down the bottom here of the box. And I've also checked I haven't gone too close to the inside of the lid. And I'm going to push the tailstock back up to give it a nice snug fit like so. And because there is a loose fit and I don't trust the padding of the towel to hold it in place while I finish the nub left by the tailstock, I'm going to finish about 3/4 of the outside of the box and then tape round the join so I can finish the top, the very, very top of the box. I've got the piece sanded down now to 600 grit, and I'm really pleased with how it's come out. But I'd like to highlight the join in the box a little bit. So what I thought I would do is add a couple of little accent lines either side of the join. So what I'm going to do is make a very small mark on either side of the join with the thin parting tool, and then put some paint in it. I'm now going to get some metallic paint and paint in the lines. When I was a nipper, I used to do a lot of modelling, well, airfix modelling, and I recently got back into it a little bit and bought loads and loads of paints, including some metallic ones, and this is sort of a metallic goldy colour. So with a very thin brush, I'm going to get the lathe spinning nice and quick, and then just get a little bit of paint on the brush, and then go into my mark that I left. Now I'll slow the lathe down as much as I can. There we go. On the scrap part of the U that I used for the original insert, the actual ring holder itself, I've made a mark of the diameter of the new box, and I need to just cut it down to that mark, the pencil mark that I've made, and then do a test fit whilst the paint is drying on the box. Flatten off, flatten, and then check that fits. Yep, that's nice and tight, so I don't want to go any thinner than that, although I can go a little bit thinner because the original one, as I said, has now got a very, very tight fit. So I will leave it like that and just take it down a shade more when I sand it down. Here's the basic shape of, the very, very basic shape of the ring insert. And if I take the box part, the bottom box, and I can measure the depth of the wall there, I can see that it is absolutely 3mm. So if I mark off on my piece here 4mm, which is there, I've then got a little bit of leeway when I put the insert into the box to smooth over the join. So now I can take the spindle gouge very, very carefully in there and create a nice profile of for the ring insert. I can now finish the bottom of the insert, and then when I get the box part back into the chuck, I can put the insert into the box and finish off with a nice profile that makes a smooth join between the top of the wall here and the actual insert itself. I'm going to get the bottom of the box back in the chuck now, and before I took it off the chuck, I made 2 marks either side of a set of jaws, and it's the set of jaws next to this little grub screw in the chuck, so I can put the piece back into the chuck in exactly the same position that it came off of. So here's the ring bit going in there. I need a little bit more kitchen roll. Put that over there like that, and then I can, there, the ring bit is in place. Gone off. So now I can take the spindle gouge and just smooth off across here the join between the ring holder and the wall of the box. I finished the ring holder part, and it looks slightly different now. I had to slightly adjust the actual holder itself, because where I had a little ridge coming up on the piece of yew, it was stopping the lid sitting nicely on its shoulder there. So I just adjusted that, and now it fits really nicely. So now it's there, I can finish it down to 600, and then I can finish the very top of the box. So that's the next step. Here's the finished ring spigot. It fits beautifully in the box, and I've put the lid back on the box now so I can apply the sanding sealer and the finish to the majority of the box before I tape it together to hold it together whilst I finish the very top of the box when I take the tailstock away. I'm going to use just insulation tape, just electrical tape, to hold it together. A few times round should hold it in place. And that should hold it in place now whilst I take the nub off. There. That's all I want to do to that, and now I can take some sandpaper to it and finish it off so it's as nice as the rest of it. It's now time to part it off, and then the box will be finished when I've tidied up the bottom. So I'm going to get the lathe running fairly quick. Part off the piece. Just like so. Phew! I'm really pleased with that. And here it is. Here's the finished box. The bottom of the box wasn't as thin as I first thought it might be, so that's good. There's about 3mm on the bottom of the box. There's a nice grain match pattern all the way around, which I'm very pleased with. And this knot feature here, and also the grain in the very sort of the dome of the box, is really pretty. Very happy with that. And then on the inside there's one of my girlfriend's rings, and then the U insert lifts out to reveal the box underneath. There we go. Thank you very much indeed for watching, everybody. Please do like, share and subscribe, and if you feel so inclined then please do leave a comment. All comments are gratefully received, and I always do my best to reply to them in as good a time as I possibly can. That's it for this week, folks. I will see you very soon on Friday, and then again next week for another project video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.